Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. I don't know when you're listening. It is currently the afternoon as we are recording live on Twitch for this episode of Club Kayfabe WrestleTalk. But of course, you could be listening a little bit later via Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube, depending on how you get your podcasts. So in that case, good day. Good day to you, and good day to you, Dan Peck.
I said good day.
And good day to you, Glenn Kukan.
Hello, hello, hello.
This is episode 288 of Club Kayfabe WrestleTalk. We have a huge show for you guys planned because we are going to be discussing the NXT TakeOver special. We're going to be discussing the Royal Rumble, one of the biggest wrestling weekends. We have lots of news to discuss, lots of news especially concerning AEW and WWE and how they could be connected via talent. We have an all-new segment to debut, so it's a lot of big stuff. So I want to jump right in here, but first things first, it's shameless plug time. Thank you all for continuing to support the Club Kayfabe creative community found on Facebook and Twitter at CKCC Online and the Filling the Void Podcast Network, hosting this and other great podcasts, including the Cinematic Triple Threat, our new movie podcast featuring myself and also Dan, who seems to be going to regular host status at this point. He's been on the first two episodes.
I'm about to be 3 for 3, so.
Pretty much, yeah. Our first episode featured Jeff Trelowitz, and second episode featured my wife, Shannon. Third episode will feature question mark?
You, maybe?
Perhaps you. But yes, we have our 2 episodes up. Next one will be on February the 15th, so make sure you check that out. It's romantic comedies coming up. Also, check out new blogs I am publishing on the Commissioner's Thoughts, comilly17.wordpress.com. Next blog will be, in fact, related to the Royal Rumble. I was going to do it last week, but last week was just too busy because I had something else going on instead of writing, which I'll talk about in just a second. And, of course, keep checking out them Twitch streams. Dan keeps hosting Twitch streams. And, of course, I'm going to be hosting some as well. Of course, on the CKCC, you can check out other great podcasts like CHMR's Ring Rust, starring Mark Jabroni. A couple of quick wrestling opinions, but you can also listen to wrestling theme music. The Blake and Sal Show just dropped a new episode on Friday. Blake and Sal talk about all the nerd culture stuff. You can also check out the Cinefan podcast starring Jeff Trelowitz. Last episode discussed what's going on with the Oscars coming up. Of course, if you're into racing, the Race Nerd podcast with Matt Hardman is a thing. And I believe the newest topic there, at least if I were him, this is what I would talk about. Jeff Gordon going into the Hall of Fame, which even though I was not a Jeff Gordon fan, that is extremely well-deserved. He had a phenomenal career in NASCAR. Cannot underestimate Jeff Gordon.
Oh, without a doubt.
In fact, I became a NASCAR fan during his rookie year, which was 1993, 94. I was a kid. But that was most assuredly, that was the thing. Was Jeff Gordon, the hot rookie, won the Coca-Cola 600 that year. And people were like, dude, this kid's going to be something. And indeed, he was. And the thing about Jeff Gordon is I can turn around now and be like, yeah, that guy was good. And I like and respect him, unlike Tony Stewart, who I would still punch in the face if I ever met him.
Oh, that's me and Kyle.
Kyle Busch?
I fucking hate Kyle Busch.
Does anybody like Kyle Busch? If any listeners out there like Kyle Busch, let us know in the comments so we can find you and punch you too. Kyle Busch is scum.
Did you once write on a YouTube comment, I like Kyle Busch? How many people want to kick some ass?
Also, a shout out to J Bunny's Music Hub, Jason Shin's musical podcast. He interviews lots and lots of bands, mostly people he's friends with. But of course, big thing going on with J Bunny's Music Hub. His last episode, he interviewed Thanatotic Desire, the band in question. Just in time for their 10th anniversary celebration. So those are going to be your plugs there. And, of course, you can check out Brian Beinman's artwork. He just finished his Royal Rumble Challenge, 30 new drawings, all wrestling related. Becky Lynch was on there, by the way. And the boss, Sasha Banks. Pretty cool stuff. And the awesome cosplay by Heather Quinn. She just released some hot rod photos that she did. And last thing I saw her post was a throwback to her very sexy Valentine's Day photo shoot from last year. But you can check all that stuff out at Club Kayfabe Creative Community at CKCC online. You got all that?
I think so.
Gonna do the dark helmet thing. Everybody got that? I got all that. And speaking of all that and more, this was a crazy weekend for wrestling. I actually did not watch NXT TakeOver Phoenix live. I watched it on delay because I was, in fact, working. I worked Backbreakers Entertainment, the newly branded Backbreakers Entertainment, by the way. They're no longer just the Backbreakers Training Center. They are now a full-fledged promotion, Backbreakers Entertainment. The training center is now basically the NXT of the promotion.
I mean, it makes sense to give your graduates somewhere to work.
Oh, yeah. And big shout-outs to the 3 graduates from that weekend, all 3 of them working the show. Big ups, and it was a lot of fun to work a show like that where the majority of the show are students, because there's just so much passion, so much excitement, so much friendliness. Probably one of the friendliest locker rooms I've ever been in. Not that I've necessarily been in a lot of negative locker rooms, but like this one was just nothing but passion and politeness. And Glory gave a really nice speech, and he basically told them, like, you're going to have bad matches, you're going to have bad days, you're going to run into crappy people. He goes, but don't let that discourage you from living your dreams. And it was really cool to see. It's really, really cool to be in that kind of environment. My favorite highlight of the weekend, though, was I was sitting just chatting with Brad DeMeo, Ref Matt, and Eric Pinhat, and Matt Turner comes over. He's just like, "Oh, is this where the Veterans Club is?" Because we're all the people who've been in the business 10 plus years, and freaking without missing a beat, Brad just goes, "No, this is the old people's club," because we were also the 30 and up club. The worst part was when Glory made a mention that they were going to have an after party afterwards, which I didn't attend because I had a 2.5 hour drive home. But he's like, "Hey guys, remember, for those of you who are old enough to drink," and everybody starts laughing. And I'm just like, oh God, oh man, I haven't been at that age in a very long time. But I had a lot of fun. I want to thank Justin Glory for having me, and also agreeing to be the first interviewee for my new upcoming podcast. This one will probably only air monthly, maybe even sporadically. But I'm going to be doing an indie interview type podcast, and Justin Glory has agreed to be my first subject. So I hope everybody will tune into that, especially if you are a wrestling fan, which you are if you're listening to this show. But if you've wanted to get a little more insight into the indie wrestling environment and talk to people who may or may not be big names in the business, Glory, of course, has tons of interactions and connections to WWE now. But it'll be really, really cool to kind of hear these guys' stories and everything, and I hope y'all will enjoy that. Is that enough plug? Are we good? That was like 10 minutes of plugs right there, so, and self-promotion.
And we've got a double review.
Yeah.
Coming up right now!
So NXT TakeOver Phoenix happened. Of course, the first 2 matches aired on NXT TV this week. Both of them were really good. Sky Pirates defeated Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke.
Which is an awesome tag team name for the record.
Oh, yeah. Sky Pirates is a great name. By the way, Shafir and Duke are now 0-2 on NXT TV.
Oh, and who?
Damn. And Forgotten Sons defeated the Street Profits.
For the Street Profits' first loss in, like, forever.
Yeah. But I'm not surprised that Forgotten Sons went over because they're kind of the hot new stable at the moment.
Yep.
Lots of championships on the line. And one of them was the Tag Team Championship, where War Raiders finally dethroned the Undisputed Era.
Well, when you have the entrance of the night,
Oh yeah,
That entrance, Joe.
the whole Viking entrance. Yeah,
They,
that was
they like
cool.
they must have retained them from the wedding a few weeks ago. They're just keep following Raymond around, and they're like, okay.
Great match, hard hitting. Would recommend.
Absolutely.
Good match.
Best match between Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno so far. Also the longest between them so far. Nothing overly special to write home about.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, it's not the story,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these two guys that can have 5-star matches, having 5-star matches is not the story. It's about who can win the fastest.
That's pretty much it, yeah. And Matt Riddle, once again, defeats Cassius Ohno.
Makes him quit with elbows.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't even a technical submission. It was just he freaking gave up because he couldn't take the elbow.
Oh, and he had to take like 5 more because the referee didn't see his hand because he was on the other side of him.
He didn't win with the bromission. He won with just straight up MMA elbow strikes.
Pretty much, yeah. Good finish though. I loved it. All right, match of the night coming up here, which of course at a takeover actually means something. Yeah. Because this just barely edges out the main event. But my God, Johnny Gargano and Ricochet. Just those names alone should tell you that why this match was so amazing. Even though I called Gargano to win here, I was still surprised when it happened because I wasn't truly expecting him to go over. That was more of I think it would be cool if he did this and DIY stood tall at the end of the night. I actually fully expected Ricochet to retain and Aleister Black to win the title instead. Boy, was I surprised. I called what happened, but I wasn't expecting it, so it was a lot of fun. Man, Ricochet and Gargano, holy crap, dude. Especially when you get into that false finish sequence.
They had a lot of good sequences.
When he did that springboard into the DDT, and he just crumpled...
Oh,
bent over, crumpled. Oh, like, damn.
I was like, he dead.
It was like, I don't know, what,
he dead.
5 minutes into the match, they had a ridiculous set of counters and just going on and on and on with it. And I remember I was following the thread and I remarked there, I was like, holy crap, what a sequence. Because they just went at it for like a good straight 5 minutes with no break.
That freaking Frankensteiner, Ricochet just flips out of it.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks at him like, what are you going to do now?
The look on his face alone was like, holy crap, I just landed that.
Well, he probably didn't expect to land that. Yeah, dude, Ricochet is a pinball.
That's why he's called Ricochet.
Exactly.
Seriously.
Well, Johnny Gargano defeated Pinball and becomes your new North American champion. Awesome.
Which they acted like was the world championship, the entire storyline. Can he finally win the big title? It's like, it's not the big title, but okay.
It's the second big title.
Let's go for it.
It's a big title.
They're acting like it's like the Universal Championship and the NXT Championship is the world championship.
That's basically how,
oh my god, an NXT roster split. Oh wait, technically there kind of is an NXT roster split because there's NXT UK.
Yep. Our roster split is by country of origin. Or
Ish.
Continent.
Yeah, ish. Or not even continent because they got all the Australians over there too now.
Yeah, that's true. Oh man, freaking. Alright, so this was definitely Bianca Belair's best match.
I didn't even watch this. I watched all the other matches.
It was her best match.
It was also the worst match of the night.
And there were spots in this match that just never need to be seen again.
Yeah, the hair whip that actually cut her.
Yeah. That needs to end now.
Well, fortunately, the undefeated streak ended.
Yeah, except she's like, undefeated isn't just wins and losses, it's a state of mind, so I'm still undefeated. Like, fuck yourself.
Yeah, except that you totally lost.
That sounds like some fucking Cameron bullshit.
Now she is the new Cameron.
And then on top of that, she decided to mouth off about Sam Roberts.